My dreams are nightmares. How can I sleep? You got the gun against me.
What's going on, everybody? King of Dragons 5000 here, coming at you with another figure review. Today we'll be having a look at the Mattel WWE Elite Collection 78 Drake Maverick. And so here we have Drake Maverick posing out of the packaging. Before we take a look at the figure, let's actually take a look at what he comes with. Drake Maverick does come with two pairs of hands. We do get a pair of grip hands, then we get a pair of flat palmed hands. We do get the Maverick 24/7 shirt, which does look nice on him. And then finally we do get a Wanted R-Truth poster. Other than that, we don't get anything else for Drake Maverick here. I'll go on to that a little bit when we have a look at his details, but overall, really nice looking figure. So, with that out of the way, guys, let's actually have a closer look at Drake Maverick. So, having a closer look at Drake Maverick, I think Mattel has done a really good job with this figure. Now, I don't know if you guys can see this, but it does feel like his head is a little bit misproportional. So it looks like there's some part of his head missing right here, and then we have a bigger chunk of his head here. Like if he was missing this part where my finger's covering up, it would look a little bit better, but you can see he kind of has like a square jaw right here, and then it's kind of flat going over on this side. I don't know what's causing that. It might just be on my figure. I might have to take a hairdryer and heat his head up and just shape it back into place. But yeah, that's a little odd to me. Like his face seems a little bit off because of that. But overall, this is a really good representation of Drake Maverick. You can see they did a good job with the face sculpt. I really do like the fact that they were able to simulate his undercut. Even though it's not completely shaved right here on the side, they did a really good job replicating it here. Some highlights in the hair would go a long way, but again, that's something that they need to start doing. And yes, his head is completely misshapen. I will have to take a hairdryer to that, because you can see this side is kind of concaving in on itself. This side is the way it's supposed to be. I'm glad I didn't notice it from the back, because from the front I'd be scratching my head wondering what was wrong with his face. So overall, I do like the face sculpt on Drake Maverick here. I think they did a really good job. He is using the Rey Mysterio body, which is good for a man of Drake Maverick's size. He's not that big of a person, so using this body actually works. I do like it. The only problem I have with him are his hands. Now, if you remember my Matt Riddle review, I absolutely despised that figure, especially with the arms. This uses the exact same arms as Matt Riddle. Just to let you know, these are the Kalisto Rey Mysterio arms that they gave Matt Riddle, and it looks perfectly fine on Drake Maverick. With the exception of these giant, and I mean giant, baseball glove sized hands. What was Mattel thinking? It gets even worse when you put the alternate hands, because now his fingers are going all the way down to his knees, and it looks utterly ridiculous. What was Mattel thinking? Mattel really needs to invest in smaller hands, especially when it comes to interchangeable hands, because we have two baseball glove size hands on Drake Maverick, and Drake Maverick doesn't have hands the size of watermelons. That does kind of irk me, but it's a problem that can be fixed relatively easy, especially if we have a lot of female figures with interchangeable hands. You can actually put those hands inside Drake Maverick hands, and that does solve the problems. I would rather him have undersized hands than oversized hands, because that looks stupid. At least it's a problem that can be fixed without any modifications to the figure, unlike Matt Riddle. Having a look at his ring gear, I actually think Maverick here has some really interesting ring gear. I do find it like one of the better attires. Now, the white is a little bit faded in some areas, but that is to be expected because they are painting a light color over dark plastic. As you can see, he does have some really nice detail here, especially in his Maverick 24/7 logo right there, which does look good. I'm surprised he's not wearing knee pads. Does Spud wear knee pads? I want to say Drake Maverick wears knee pads, and they should have added something here, but it does look nice nonetheless. And then we go on to his kick pads, where you can see they continue that line pattern. It is a little bit fuzzy on the left kick pad. As you can see, it's fuzzy all the way around, and that it's not the best looking, but it's pretty good. It's decent for what you need it to be. You'll never notice it from a distance. But yeah, I really do like the kick pads, and they did a really good job with that. So overall, I give Drake Maverick here a pass because the problems with this figure can be fixed, especially if you have parts lying around, especially because you can't display one figure with 4 hands, so this will actually be used for another figure, and Drake Maverick will get smaller hands. But like I said, I would rather him have smaller hands than baseball gloves for hands. So with that out of the way, guys, let's actually get him compared to other figures you may have in your collection. And so here we have Drake Maverick posed next to an Ultimate Edition's Brock Lesnar and a basic Jeff Hardy. So with the comparisons out of the way, guys, let's actually have a look at Drake Maverick's articulation. He does have the standard elite articulation, especially if you have the smaller figures like Rey Mysterio and Kalisto, you know what to expect out of this figure. He, of course, does have a ball joint here at the head. Now, because of how high his head sits on his neck, we have better downwards movement than we do upwards movement. You can see he doesn't really look up too well, but he can look down quite a bit. Does turn left and right, and we get some very slight head tilt. It's almost non-existent, but it is there, so I'll say yes, he does have head tilt. His arms are on ball joints that do go all the way around, no problem. Go out to the side, really nicely, I do like that. He has a bicep swivel, and oh my goodness, you can see some staining right here. Yeah, that is staining from the dye that they used on the shirt, so do be aware that you might have some staining on your Drake Maverick. It can come off with some clear nail polish remover, and acetone, but if I were to remove it, I would use clear nail polish. So anyway, we do have bicep swivel, which works pretty good. Single bend at the elbow, giving us better than 90 degrees. Well, 90 degrees, it's not better, but it's still 90 degrees. We do have a swivel hinge here at the wrist. That works no problem. Ab crunch goes back about that far, goes forward about that far. We do have waist swivel. Legs do kick forward about that far, no problem. Go back, out to the sides pretty decently. We do have thigh swivel up high. Double bend at the knee, giving us really good mobility there. We have a boot swivel, which works fine. Hinge at the foot, which goes back and forward. And then, of course, we do have rocker ankle. So overall, Drake Maverick here has some pretty good articulation. Not the best, but it's pretty good. So with that out of the way, guys, let's actually get him posed for my final thoughts, and then we'll wrap up this review. And so here we have Drake Maverick posed for my final thoughts. Now, I did modify this figure just a little bit by giving him some female hands. I believe I'm using some Lacey Evans hands, or it could be some Becky Lynch hands. I'm not sure. I don't keep track of which hands go with what. They're just in a pile together. And I think this actually looks better. Like I said, I would rather have Drake Maverick with tiny hands than oversized baseball glove mitt hands. And like I said, I think it still leaves some room for improvement, but it's a much needed improvement. Overall, I still think Drake Maverick here is a pretty good figure, especially if you've been collecting the Elite line. He goes really well with R-Truth, seeing as how he was entangled with the 24/7 title. And this figure does look really nice when you have him chasing R-Truth or have R-Truth chasing him. Whatever you want to do, you can do it with this figure, and it looks fantastic. If you are looking for Drake Maverick here, Elite 79 hasn't really been, or 78. This is Elite 78. I haven't really seen Elite 78 in stores anymore, and the only figure that I saw warming pegs was Kofi Kingston, actually. Kofi was the only one warming pegs, and unfortunately the rest of the wave was pretty hard to come by. However, if you are looking for a Drake Maverick, you can still pick him up on Ringside Collectibles, and that's pretty much where I got my Elite 78 case. If you are wanting to pick up Drake Maverick here, you can still get him at Ringside Collectibles. With that being said, guys, I'm KingofDragons 5000. Don't forget to like this video, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel. Go check out all my other action figure reviews, as well as all my other WWE videos. Hopefully you find them informative. As always, if there's a figure you would like to see me review, let me know down in the comments, and if it's in my collection, I'll definitely have a look at it. While you're at it, check out my Instagram account for new and exciting action figure photos, and as always, ring that bell to be notified every time I upload a video. Until next time, guys, I'll see you later. Take care, everyone.